It's all right.
It's all right. Okay, we've got another question down here.
We have people to clean that up.
Well, we could just do this.
You know,
They'll never know.
oh, even better.
I was just thinking, there was never any cleaning crew on the spaceships, was there? No. But
I think they were
my character, Martok, started out as a cleaning crew person on General Chang's ship. This story was. So, but I never actually saw any cleaning crew. Yeah, guys and crew. On Enterprise, the most interesting thing that I saw, when you walk into the medical, what's it called? Medical suite? Sick bay. When you walk in there, there's these incredible, futuristic items all over the place, in the walls and lights and things. But as you walk in the hallway, there's a paper towel rack right here on the wall. I said, that's perfect. It's perfect. Anyway, next question. Neil.
Hello, Neil.
Oh, there are two Klingons here. That's great. Good to see you, sir.
Next one's for Aron. Yes.
No. What?
Right. Aron, did you have any problems rehearsing your lines for the rules of acquisition?
I'm not sure what you said, but if you back the microphone just slightly away from your mouth a little bit, say that again, and speak in American.
American, man. Did you have any problems rehearsing your lines for the rules of acquisition?
Could I have a translation, please? I really don't understand what you're saying.
Did you struggle with your lines?
The question was, did Aron have any problems remembering his lines for the rules of acquisition? Repeat.
No. Thank you. Okay, next question. I'm going to be quick, so I'm going to get to the photo shoot. But,
Did anybody understand that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've got a bad throat. You're going to give me a break for it?
I still didn't get that. I was just kidding.
I have a bad throat, okay?
Oh, he has a rough throat.
Yeah. How does this sound?
I got that. Sore.
Does this sound better? Can you understand?
Don't do that.
Actually, I can. Got that. I'll just stay here.
Good idea. This is less a question and more a statement, so I apologise to people who want to wait to ask a question. But, there is a very fine line between actors and good actors, I think. I mean, we get so many bad movies out there with just terrible acting. It's crazy. You guys are, in my book, some of the best actors in the world. Frankly. James has managed to give us a very small amount of Shakespeare, which I haven't been lucky enough to see you performing Shakespeare, but I have seen the photograph that you signed for me 10 years ago, when you were in, I believe, Richard IV. You're in full chairman.
Richard, well, I think it was Henry VI. I was playing Richard Plantagenet. Was it myself in the throne with my sons?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, that was Richard Plantagenet.
You're in full chairman.
The Duke of York.
So I know how uncomfortable it is.
Yeah.
So by the fact you played Shakespeare, you basically gave not only Martok, but also the other Klingons that you played, and Lord Trey and Lois and Clark, a nobility that was sometimes very difficult to put across, especially to a camera. And the same goes for Aron. You took a character which, by definition, the Ferengi are comic relief. And they were from the very beginning, even sometimes as far as what Armin and Max and other actors have done. The Ferengi were considered to be comic relief. And you took Nod from being what considered to be the bad boy, took him up through his Starfleet career and turned him into something to be very, very proud of. I mean, it wasn't. The writing was a big part of it, but the fact of the matter is, without a good actor and without a good director, it's just words on the page. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for giving us characters that we wanted to get behind so much that we actually considered them to be real people. You know, every time I watched DS9, I wasn't just watching a television program with characters. I was watching my friends, I was watching people who I liked. And you two are frankly the best, well, one of, if not the best, one of the best characters from those species, and you did a bloody good job. And I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity to do something. But not only got me into a great community like this, but it's the reason why I've been happily married, with a young lady for 10 years, been happily married for 6 years, and why I've got a 4-year-old daughter who turns 4 on Sunday. And I just want to say congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, absolutely. First of all, you know, my costume from the show just walked in. That's Ian Ross. It is so handsome that day, and you wear it well, Ian. Thank you. Thank you for showing up like that's fabulous. You look great. You know, most of the actors on Star Trek, not the regulars, but even, yes, starting with Shatner, as a matter of fact. He did a lot of Shakespeare in Canada at the Stratford Theatre. And he continued to do Shakespeare all the way through the, you know, when, there were a lot of years between 1967 and 1986, you know, 20. And so all those actors were still working, but they weren't working on Star Trek. They weren't working on shows that you saw, for the most part. But Star Trek used more classically trained actors in the aliens world than any other show on television used classically trained actors. Renee, Armin, Shatner, Frakes is a musical theater guy, and if you get him started on musical theater, it never stops. Anyway, thank you, and we bring what we have to the role. That's all we can do. Try to make it as honest as possible.
Yes. I would have to say, I wish I was as classically trained as some of the actors that he mentioned. I didn't have that background, to be honest with you. And I always saw the show, you know, I hear that a lot. We get a lot of nice compliments about our characters and the growth of our characters, as well as us who played the characters. I really felt it was a very symbiotic relationship, I think, between the writers and a lot of the actors on the show, because I think one of the advantages the writers had is they could come down to the set. So in a way, they were able to get to know some of us by coming down, not really deeply, but enough, I think, that they were able to take something, as well as watching us perform in the times that we did through dailies. Dailies are when they watch what we shot the day of or the week of, later in the week. And I think that, I don't know, I just felt it was a bit of a symbiotic relationship, because I wouldn't have played all that if they didn't write all that. And you could say, but I was able to do that at the same time. And you're right. But the writers gave me such great stuff to do. And I think JG hit it on the nail when he said to be as honest as we can with what they gave us. And to do the best we can. And I think that's what also, I think that's what's not mentioned, is the integrity of the actors to give everything they had into the work that they were doing. And I think that's one of the special things about our show, is we had an amazing troupe of actors that really did have a lot of integrity in the work that they were doing. So while I wasn't classically trained as well as the others, and how I wish I was, I mean, I came into the industry a little bit different. I was 18, I looked 11. That was my foot in the door. That's how I got into the industry. And honestly, I think I was a little overconfident. It was a little weird. It was a little bit more very parallel to Nog. I think Nog was a bit overconfident going into the Federation. And so was I getting into acting. And I think I kind of learned on the job how to be a better actor. I should tell the story I told you guys in the car on the way down. These are the ways we learn what to do and what not to do. Remember the knife, the story I told you? So I go to an audition. Anybody aspiring to be an actor out there? So I'm going to give you a little bit. No one. Nobody. Really? Not one? Okay, so you don't care about this advice. But that's okay. It's a great story. I would suggest don't do this to your boss. How about that? See, she doesn't want to hear this story, so, I can't hear this. No, it's a joke. I was teasing you. I just caught you. I'm sorry.
No, she wants a sandwich. She wants a sandwich now. Another sandwich.
So I go into an audition, and at this time, I had a butterfly knife that I thought was kind of cool. And I went in for an audition.
Do you know what a butterfly?
Oh yeah, do you know what a butterfly knife is? Yeah. Okay, see, they all do.
Sorry.
Yeah, everyone knows what a butterfly knife is. And it was really fun. There was something really fun about that. And trust me, I'm a straight arrow. I really don't do a lot of bad things in my life. So I go to the audition for Stephen King's It. And I'm playing a ruffian, this bad little boy who's got a knife. And I'm like, oh, this is a perfect time to bring in my butterfly knife and show what I can do. No, don't ever do that again. It's wrong. So I go into the audition, and I'm in the scene, and I have to pull, and he pulls out the knife, and you really just mime it. You just pretend you got a knife. Don't pull out a real butterfly knife. It's like, how awesome I am. Scared the casting director to death. Never saw him ever again. Definitely did not get the role, and had to learn pretty quickly. Yeah, I don't think JG would have done that.
Oh, I would have, but I lost many roles.
So while I wasn't, I kind of found my way, and unfortunately, I went through those trials and tribulations, not to make a pun on Star Trek, before I got the show. And you know, again, they just wrote amazing stuff for us. We were so blessed to have what we had on that show. Great crew, great cast, great production. Very fortunate. I just did, and you haven't done this yet, I just did my interview for the DS9 documentary, and I talked a lot about my experience and my emotions and my feelings about working on the show, as well as all this great stuff the writers gave to me. I mean, that was very fortunate, very, very blessed.
Yeah, it's basically in the writing. The writers, several of the writers on the show did 4,400. You know, that was Ira. Then after that, Renee Echeverria is on several shows.
Have they called you?
But no, but Outlander is Ron Moore and Ira Bear. If you haven't been watching that, you know, I've been auditioning for Outlander every day of my life for the last 2 years. And, but it's no deal yet. I can't get on that show. But
there's Salem.
But there was a lot of writers that have gone on into the industry and still writing big time. So.
And then did you see Battlestar Galactica? Ron Moore's Battlestar Galactica? You want to know my opinion about that? Well, first of all, I thought it was great. But here's my theory on that. And you can ask, well, I don't know if Robert Picardo has an opinion about that. Here's my theory on why that show was so good. And I'm not trying to, this is going to sound bad after I just said that, and what I think Voyager could have been. And I say that because Ron Moore wanted to be the head writer of Voyager, but he wasn't given that job. And I think he took the ideas that he would have put into Voyager into Battlestar Galactica because it's the same show. Ship trying to get home. And I love Battlestar Galactica. I thought it was a fabulous show. And I think that's maybe what Voyager could have been. But maybe they didn't want it to be that way. You know, maybe Paramount Rick. But he did just change hats, didn't he? Just making sure, you know, paying attention. You know, that would be awesome. I turn away and then you change your shirt. Do that whole thing to see if I'm actually paying attention. That would be genius, actually. Yeah. You just step out and come back. Okay, anyway. That's my thought on Battlestar.
I never heard that before. That's a great theory that Ron took the ideas we would have used.
I think so.
The Battlestar Galactica.
Lisa, did I ask him that in Vegas? And he said yes?
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
I forgot that I asked him that until now, so technically I didn't forget. But I did a few minutes ago. So now I remembered. I don't know what that means. It's kind of weird.
Kneel.
That doesn't mean for me to kneel. Kneel. Oh, sorry. This is a really bad joke. I like that hat.
Does that work? Wow.
What was that?
Does that work?
Sure.
Well, it does.
Sure.
Oh, look, isn't that lovely?
Lovely.
We have a question. What is, now keep it clean, what is your favourite chat-up line? Mine is, get in the van.
What what is your favorite chat-up line? First of all, we don't use the term chat-up. It's a pickup in America. The pickup line. I like chat-up.
But you knew what she meant. I didn't.
Well, I knew.
I was thinking, well, there's Facebook, but
I have never had.
I don't think we have 800 numbers anymore.
I can honestly say I have only used a pickup line once in my life. And it was about 2 days ago. No. No, it was, I was at the Folger Theater doing Shakespeare, and there was a party afterwards, and after the show, and I was at this party, and this beautiful woman, I don't know who she was at this point. This is
Do you even remember the line?
It's 1977, and I said, you know, I haven't danced in like 15 years. Would you dance with me? And she did, and the rest was a brief but wonderful history. And that's the only time. That's a lot. That's 40 years ago. Is it more than that? It's 40 years ago at least, maybe 50. How about you? What's your best chat-up line?
You know, I have never in my life used a pickup line because I've never gone to places that I've needed them, that I would use them. That just never worked for me. It's kind of hard when you can barely reach the bar, top of the bar, to then jump on the stool and have a pickup line. Other than I'm fun size. But I never used it. I just thought it. But I didn't need one. I think because I'm a bit out there anyway. So either it was either you're gonna like me or you're not. So no line's gonna help me in this world. So usually my personality would just carry me through. But there was one that somebody came up with. What was that one, babe? On it was something with Deep Space Nine. Do you remember that? What was it? Oh yeah, that's right. Aren't you Deep Space Fine? So bad. The lines are so bad. But if you make them laugh, at least that's your way in, right? I've never tried. I guess I make them laugh without the lines somehow.
Thank you for releasing. For the only one who has a memory of it. Thank you so much.
Wait, a memory of what?
Now
I didn't have a line.
I want to ask Leo Tolstoy back there if he has any questions or advice on writing. Leo Tolstoy, stand up. You know who you are, Leo. That huge beard, that skinny skinhead. Yes, you! Stand up! Let us see you. This is a magnificent beard, yes. Does anybody know Tolstoy? You know Tolstoy, yes. I lost 7 people on that one reference to Tolstoy.
Yeah, you really killed the crowd there. You literally, no, I think, yeah, it's 6. It's actually 6.
1, 2, 3,
6
4,
people.
5, 6, yes.
Somebody get up and leave so he's right. So there, so that's 6. Melissa's leaving.
Okay.
My fiance is leaving.
So, I love the beard, though. This is a great beard here,
It's a
too.
great
So
beard.
looking at your beard, it's wonderful.
You could do a ZZ Top cover band.
Yeah, absolutely.
ZZ Top's not big.
Neil?
It's all for a drummer.
Is there anybody else with anything?
We literally have only time for one last question.
Excellent.
The people are happy.
We'll get you to.
Obviously, during your history on Star Trek, you played some memorable characters, but if you could go back and play a different character, who would it be?
Who are you asking me?
Both of you.
Oh, go ahead.
You know, I get this question a lot, and oh, there you go. That was 7, 8.
9. And Neil's one of them.
You can't.
Neil's leaving.
Oh, yeah,
He's the host.
Neil's leaving. You know, it's funny. I'm going to be very boring in the answer. To be honest, I absolutely love playing Nog. I really wouldn't want to play any other character other than Nog. He was such a joy to play, and I miss him. I miss him so much, and I would love to play him again. And especially being 5 feet tall, there's number 10. No, I'm just kidding. Especially being 5 feet, being short, it kind of limits what I really could play, unless I played like a kid board or something like that. And the truth is, maybe my imagination just isn't as big as it used to be, but I mean, they gave me so much with Nog that I didn't leave the show empty. I didn't leave going, God, I really wish I got to do X. So it's a very boring answer but the truth is I just absolutely love playing Nog. I couldn't have had a better character to play. I really couldn't. And especially as the gentleman a few minutes ago said, they really took him in a different direction. And I wasn't Huckleberry Finn for 7 years. I wasn't falling on my face for 7 years. There was just so much heart. He was really the most human character on the show. And he represented exactly what the Federation was. So it was just a beautiful character. I miss him so much. So if I had to go back, I'd play him again. I really would. It was just too much joy.
Well, there's one character on the show that I would like to play. The Mark Twain character from Next Generation. And I say that because I am dead set on doing Twain sometime, a one-man show. I love Hal Holbrook, but I just want to do it myself. I want to tell the stories, and I want to comment on present-day politics as well. Mark Twain. In fact, I was thinking for a substantial amount of time about running for Congress as Mark Twain. And to tell you the truth, I'm still thinking about it. But you had a question here.
Yes. One thing we actually did about
Well, condense the question because you're not supposed to be asking it. Go ahead.
who's the worst giggler?
Who is the worst giggler?
On the outside, when you're trying to do lines and things, who is the worst giggler and sort of starts giggling and sort of...
Non-visitor, in my case. How about you? Who was the worst giggler on the show when there are line screw-ups or anything? She had to say, and have you interviewed, did you talk to the Varelli? God, did you talk to the Varelli? God, did you talk to the Vanderella? God, did you? 23 times she couldn't get out the word Varellian. And she was laughing the entire time. The whole cast was laughing. But she was the one that was most given to. And she's a hoofer, She's a dancer, a musical dancer, theater person too. So they laugh a lot easier than most. How about you?
I work with Sirach majority of the time up until I would say 5th or 6th season. So, Sirach and I would goof around all the time, but we were, the utmost professionals, unlike some of the other people on the show. So, we didn't goof around. We were professional. We had integrity. We cared about our work. We didn't muck around. We didn't laugh. We were serious, always. Every scene we had. Although it did take me 19 takes. It did take me 19 takes to say Stemples. That's a true story. I can tell that story. It's a short one. Kind of like my career. That was painful. Actually, it's not over yet. It's not over. No, truth be told, I really didn't have that experience as much as he did. I worked with him not here and there, but not to that capacity, so I can't say if he was right or wrong, but I have a feeling he's telling the truth. There weren't that many people, I didn't have that big experience, but I did goof around with Sirach all the time. For 7 years, we played this game. How many of you just looked at my finger? Just raise your hand. Just go ahead and be honest. Okay, I won that many times. That's a game Sirach and I would play back and forth. It's very juvenile, yes. Very juvenile. But we played that game for years, and we would goof around all the time. But nothing, it was a pretty serious set. I think TNG was more of the goofy set than our set, from what I've heard. But it did take me 19 takes to say stumbles, because the line was, I know who can tell us what self-sealing stumbles are. Mind you, I have teeth in my mouth. I have teeth in my mouth, so it's very difficult to say all those consonants. And we would do the scene, and it would be, wait, I know who can tell us what's up.
Cut!
Wait, I know who can tell us what self-sealing
Cut!
Take 12.
Rolling.
Wait, I know who can tell us what... But I wasn't screwing up, I had it!
Rolling.
I get it this time. Wait, I know who can tell us what self-sealing stumbles are. No, it's not done. Sirach's line.
I don't know.
Cut! How did you, his line was what? That's all he had to say was what? He couldn't remember what. So you harassed Nana for virilient, or whatever the word was. He could not say what. I said, how did you not get that? So I didn't think you were gonna get it. Finally, take 19. Wait, I know who can tell us what self-sealing stem notes are. Scene goes on. But basically, I wouldn't say gigglers, except Nana, apparently. Nana's the giggler. So when you see her, say, hey, I hear you're the giggler. See what she says. JG says, you're the giggler.
Say it that way.
Is that it, Neil? Do we have any more?
Unfortunately, that's all the time we've got. Please show your